This video will serve as an instructional video to teach anyone how to run front of house. One thing to keep in mind is that someone else will be setting up the cash tender before the shows and settling out the tender at the end of the night. Your responsibilities will include handling transactions for concession sales and general admission ticket sales, as well as checking in audience members, assisting with setting up chairs for the shows, and turning off lights before the show starts, as well as turning them back on when the shows are finished. To get an idea of how many chairs should be put out for the show, you're going to need to be familiar with our tablet and the two apps we use, Ticket-Tailor and Square, but mainly Ticket-Tailor to get an idea of how many chairs and how many audience members are going to be there for that show. In case you need to unlock the tablet, the combination is written on the sticker, the combination being 259000. You could pull up either app by hitting the home button, which is the round button located on one of the shorter sides of the tablet, and that brings you to the home screen, where you can see all the available apps. Ticket-Tailor is the blue icon with a white ticket on it. You could also double tap the home screen button to show you all the open apps. Both Ticket-Tailor and Square should appear there, and you could select either one from that display. In Ticket-Tailor, you'll want to hit the home button at the top left corner of the application. That'll take you to a list of upcoming shows, and you'll want to choose the one that you're working that night. That'll load you into a check-in progress screen. That number will tell you how many people have checked in out of how many reservations have been made. This is the layout with the least amount of chairs we would put out. On the side closest to the tech booth, there are 5 chairs in the front row, 6 in the 2 center rows, and 5 in the back row. The other side has 3 chairs in the back row and 3 rows of 5 chairs in front of that, with enough space between the front row and the stage to set out another row if needed. Once the chairs are set out, you'll want to make sure that the lights to receive the audience are ready. For that, you'll need to turn on the lights for the refreshment cooler located just inside and up top past the cooler door. The lights to the theater will need to be turned off except for the center curtain lights, and you'll need to plug in the hanging lounge lights. The plugs can be found alongside the black beam between the front of house counter and the entrance doors to the theater. This is what the theater should look like before the show starts and house is open. But just before the show starts, you should turn off all the lights and disconnect the hanging lights. Once the show is over, you can reconnect the hanging lights, and about a minute after that, you can turn on the center curtain lights as well. The house opens 15 minutes before the show starts, so that's 7 o'clock for the 7:15 show or 8:45 for the 9 p.m. show. Once you're ready to start checking in people, you can go back to Ticket-Tailor on the tablet, and on the bottom right of the check-in progress page, you'll see a guest list icon which will display the names for each individual reservation made for the show. As guests start coming into the theater, you can simply ask if they've already made reservations, and if they have, you can ask their name and check the check mark next to their name, coloring it in green. If general admission tickets or any concessions need to be purchased at the front of house, you can do that by switching over to the Square app and selecting the checkout icon at the bottom left of the application. There you'll see icons for any sales you need to make. Concessions can be found at the top right of the screen, and general admission as well as student and comp tickets are found on the left. If the transaction is going to be paid with the use of a debit or credit card, there will be a transaction fee of 50 cents for every card used. If the transaction is going to be paid in cash, you can use the cash box in the top drawer of the cabinet. The cash box should always stay inside this cabinet while audience members are present in the theater. For being the person running front of house, you can help yourself to a concession of your choice, and any of the tips in the tip jar are to be split by or collected by the people or person working front of house. Thank you so much for volunteering. Good luck.